Hello and welcome to this episode of Equity Sahi Hai, brought to you by Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company. Joining me today is one of India's best known fund managers, someone who has been tracking Indian equities for more than 2 decades. He is currently the executive group vice president and fund manager at Motilal Oswal, Santosh Kumar Singh. Thank you very much, Santosh, for joining me here today. There's so much to discuss with you, but let me start with my first question that you seem to be picking up a lot of small caps in the portfolios that you manage, in the schemes that you manage. So, while there is a lot of good growth that some of these have seen in their prices, at the same time, there are fears that, small caps, and these fears have been there, ever since you and me started our career, that small caps are high risk, and somewhere these fears are correct as well. So could you explain why have you been adopting an approach of small caps in this current situation? As somebody told me that the market cap of the highest small cap is 18,000 crores. So things are very different today than what they were in our time when you thought a small cap was a 100, 200 crore market capitalization company.
So thanks, Vivek, for having me here. And it's a great question. Actually, I always get this question from a lot of people, right? That why small caps and why in this particular category and all that stuff, right? So let me first see. I would just before getting into small cap, mid cap, or large cap, right? Let me first take you through the way I pick stocks, because when I'm picking stocks, I'm really not thinking about small, mid, or large cap. Okay, I am thinking about picking a company which actually is able to satisfy my criteria of stock picking. And the basic criteria of my stock picking is that, and it's very simple. We follow QGLP at Motilal Oswal, and within QGLP, right, it's a very simple sort of you can say four-part criteria. And the first one is that every company I pick has to be in a very large segment. Right? Second, the company has to be significant portion of that large segment and most probably market leader in that particular segment. And its growth rate has to be highest in that particular segment. Right? The third criteria, which is very important for me, that I don't like to buy companies at any prices. I like to buy companies where my PEG is less than 1. So if you look at most of the companies which I buy, at the time of buying, my PEG is around 0.5. Not for all, but for most of the companies. And finally, see, I don't like to buy companies where there is any corporate governance risk going forward. So these are the four basic criteria which I sort of choose to buy my companies. Now, within that, you're trying to find out, and see, and as I said, I don't care about small, large, or mid. Okay. While buying the stocks, and if you look at the stocks which we are talking about, right, out of total 24 stocks, I have got 4 small cap in my portfolio. Okay. It's the allocation which is large, but actually out of 24, there are 4 small caps in this portfolio. Now, if you look at every small cap, those are markets. So one of the stocks which I kept always being asked about is that why you have got, say, a Religer Enterprises as one of your top 2 holdings, right? I keep telling people that, okay, so let's, and I'm taking this as an example, not that I don't like to pitch stocks, but I'm just taking it as an example that how it satisfies those 4 criteria. So Religer Enterprises owns a company called as Care Health, right? It is the second largest health insurer in India. And in my view, health insurance is going to be a really, really large market. Globally, it is one of the largest financial sector markets. Okay. So it's one of the largest in that particular space. Second largest, actually. It's highly profitable, growing at around 40%. Right. And when I got it at around 0.25 PEG.
Mm.
So thing is, you can say that, okay, it's a small cap, but it's a 5,000 crore GWP company. If market has decided to keep it a small cap, how do I care? I would rather ride it till the time market makes it a mid cap or a large cap.
Mm.
So for me, the criteria is simple. It's not about small, mid, or large, and then that's why it's one of it's just around a couple of months back, I was telling someone that, okay, there could be a time when you might be asking me why you don't have any small cap,
Mm.
because for me, while selecting the stock, I'm not looking at market caps.
And it's interesting that you said that because, while you gave one example, but, there are certain industry leaders, in their respective segment, big companies, which are actually categorized as small caps. So,
Yeah,
and this could be across sectors. I mean, if
yeah.
you see.
So that's what. So industry. So see, with small caps, there are two type of companies, which are perpetual problematic companies. One is, see, if you are a small company in a large segment, then you are actually a fragile company. Because if you're a small company in a large segment, then anyone can come and sort of compress your margins, or actually they can also take you out of the business.
Mm.
And second is, you are a large company in a very small segment, right? In the niche segment. Actually, I don't like to buy either of the two because these are fragile companies. So I keep saying that I buy fragile stocks, not fragile companies. So these two, this is a fragile company part of the market, which can remain permanently small.
Mm.
And what I buy are the companies. So the second one is in the payment space, right? Payments to me is one of the largest space in India.
Mm.
It's going to be one of the largest space in financial sector in next 10 to 15 years. And if you are in that particular segment, and if you are market leader, then today you can be anything. But in multiple in years time, and when you are a market leader, no, you are not worried. Actually, you whatever might be the sort of economic scenario, you are not going to get into trouble. And specifically, if you are profitable.
Mm. Mm.
So that way, as I said, means it's one can argue that small cap or mid cap, but what I argue is that I buy companies which are not fragile companies. This the stocks could be, because the market is not looking at it today. The stocks can be fragile, but the companies are the strongest one in their particular space.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.